What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, I read online that drinking Windex is actually good for you. So
Jimmy!
Mr. Beast, the one person that has defied all odds from beginnings of Minecraft to mass clickbait spam and cringy reactions, Mr. Beast has truly evolved into a YouTube alpha that can masterfully use clickbait and snappy video ideas to manipulate the YouTube algorithm to attract a following of 26 million subscribers. But how did this happen? How did this cringy 13-year-old that made nonsense YouTube videos in his spare time transform into a cringy 21-year-old that makes nonsense videos full-time? What kind of trials and tribulation did Mr. Beast go through to find himself worth $6 million? And most importantly, how did he find himself getting tweeted at by the thick lord Pokimane? Damn! Wait, what the fuck? Now let's stop filling time and get into the 100% honest story of Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast was born May 7th, 1998 in Greenville, North Carolina, with the name Jimmy Donaldson. Jimmy's mum was an anti-vaccinator and didn't vaccinate her children because she thought that would give them the autism. So instead of giving Jimmy a vaccine, he was placed in a protective bubble to separate him from the outside world, and he was what's known as a bubble child. In terms of keeping Jimmy protected from the outside world, the bubble was perfect, but when it came to making friends, the bubble's effects were less than pleasurable. Because of the plastic, it muffled the words, and when people would talk to Jimmy, it would sound like this.
Oh, Jimmy, I wanna beat your ass.
So when a kid would ask Jimmy if, hey, wanna play ball? It sounded to Jimmy that the kid was saying, hey, we're gay and we wanna play with your balls. Jimmy, being a natural red-blooded American, he hated gays, and he thought all kids that got vaccines were homos. So Jimmy swore to himself that when he grows up, he's gonna hypnotize kids to stop the world from turning gay. But first, Jimmy had to get out of his protective bubble. Jimmy hatched a plan, and knew the only way for him to break out of the bubble is with something sharp. And there's only one thing sharp enough to do this. So one day, while looking for the giant backlog of fit compilations on YouTube, Jimmy prepared his wang, and then launched himself at the side of the bubble, and the bubble burst. Jimmy was free from his prison, and he went straight to the computer to create his YouTube channel. And in 2012, at the age of 13, Mr. Beast 6000 was created. 6,000 being the number of lashes he would get at school for taking the Lord's name in vain. Mr. Beast's original content was Minecraft, COD, a little bit of Pokemon, and a niche Facebook game that goes by the name Battle Pirates. But the only people watching his videos were people from his school, calling him a spaztard. Mr. Beast was desperate for views, and would move his content from gameplay to clickbaiting anything and everything. This didn't come without sacrifices though, and Mr. Beast gave up dumpster diving and Harlem Shake videos with his friends to instead do YouTube in his spare time. 6 years of hard work later, Mr. Beast had accumulated over 100,000 subscribers. This went straight to Mr. Beast's head, and he thought he was a big shot and all the girls at his school would flock to his fame, so he dropped out for his own safety and pursued a full-time career on YouTube. A tactic Mr. Beast would use to gain viewers was by creating as many videos as he possibly could a week, and if he wasn't making videos, then he was banging his cousin. Yeehaw, partner! This tactic of spam uploading and clickbait content worked well for Mr. Beast, and since YouTube's monetization system wasn't AIDS, he got away with a healthy paycheck each month. But it wasn't gonna last, and 2017 was rolling around the corner, and the fated adpocalypse had started. Small channels like Mr. Beast had ground to a halt, and stopped growing in subs. Mr. Beast needed a new idea if his channel wanted to survive the adpocalypse, so he turned to the one man with all the answers, Jake Paul, and bought the $63 subscription to Jake Paul's influencer program. These 30-minute tutorials taught him valuable lessons, such as big dollar signs equal big views, and if you're ever struggling with video ideas, just go down to the street and give the nearest hobo whatever's in your wallet. This was perfect for Mr. Beast, since you don't need a personality to give people money, and so he created the 3-part series known as the $1,000 Keyboard Trilogy. Reviewers called this series of videos the best trilogy since the Star Wars prequels, from humble beginnings of the first video buying the $1,000 keyboard, to the second video where he tells everyone about how the $1,000 keyboard changed his life, and the tragic end in the third video, where he blew the keyboard sky high. Rest in peace, 1K keyboard. Mr. Beast had found a winning formula, but it didn't gain the exposure he wanted. He needed an idea that would attract people to his channel, and while walking home from his local food bank, he saw a homeless man throwing his shit at people. Even though the homeless man was insane, Mr. Beast couldn't take his eyes off him, and this gave Mr. Beast his greatest idea yet. If he just does something insane, then people will watch it, just to say to themselves, WTF. So Mr. Beast set up his camera and started counting to 100,000.
I'm that guy who does retarded things for views because I'm a retard, and you guys click on it. So don't be like, Beast, why do you keep doing stuff like this? Why do you keep clicking on it? If you didn't click on this stuff, I wouldn't do this stuff, okay? You give me no choice. I gotta chase the views.
This worked perfectly for Mr. Beast, and people would come to his channel to see him counting, skip forward a couple times to see if it was real, and then click off. Mr. Beast would follow this up with more endurance videos, and this gave Mr. Beast the exposure they desperately wanted. Mr. Beast needed help, so he enlisted his mum to run the business part of his YouTube channel. He then pulled out his trap card and started making attention-grabbing videos that would feature large cash prizes, featuring himself mentally torturing his friends, and then justifying it by giving them big prizes. Lucky bastards. Mr. Beast continued with these videos for the next 2 years. Notable videos he made in this time period were the Last to Live challenge, where Chandler slips over a flat surface and breaks his neck in the first hour, Real Life Battleships, where Chris gets ransomed by Somalian pirates, and last but not least, the PewDiePie vs T-Series video. All these videos had given Mr. Beast huge followings, but none were more influential than the PewDiePie video. Because of this video, Mr. Beast had started the well-known PewDiePie vs T-Series war, and he was drawing enormous viewers from every corner of the world. Blue-shirted kids in India, rich TikTok kids, and people with no personalities were spouting out subscribe to PewDiePie wherever they went, bolstering both Mr. Beast and PewDiePie's viewer base. And whenever one of Mr. Beast's videos got under 20 million views, he would just simply take his anger out by beating one of his editors. Ah, those were some good times. Now with Mr. Beast getting more views than he can handle, the demand for more videos were going up, and he knew he had to give the people what they wanted. So he went over to the couch and told his dropout brother that he has to either move out or start making YouTube videos. And just like Logan Paul, he boosted his brother into YouTube for better or worse. But when Mr. Beast went to promote his brother, all his 8-year-old viewers would see the promotion, and then their goldfish brains would forget it, and Mr. Beast's brother's channel would stagnate at 1 mil subs, while Mr. Beast's channel would grow all the way up to 20 million, and this gave way to Mr. Beast's most successful project, the Team Trees charity drive. They saw YouTubers from all niches of YouTube giving money to raise 20 million new trees in 2020, and at the center of all this, one man. This brings us to present day in 2019, and Mr. Beast has risen to 26 million subscribers in the space of a month, from uploading his 20 million subscriber video. But what has Mr. Beast got planned for the future? Well, he's currently working on his most ambitious project yet, which is a 5-part game show series where the winner will get a grand prize of $1 million. This alone shows how Mr. Beast is doing better than any other YouTuber on the site, because not many YouTubers cannot passively grow 6 million subscribers, let alone give away $1 million. From humble beginnings of shitposting on YouTube and spam posting, it's been an uphill battle for Mr. Beast, but he never gave up on his dream, and with hard work and determination, he's fully solidified his place on YouTube. When it comes to big YouTubers, no one is as charitable and humble as Mr. Beast. In this world of global tragedies, it makes me happy knowing that there are people like Mr. Beast shining a light on all the good things in life.
Mr. B6000, oh, Mr. B6000, oh, Mr. B6000, yeah, you know his name. He changed it once or twice, but I think it's here to stay. His thumbnails, well, they're made in paint, but if you ask me, I think they're kinda quaint. Mr. B6000, oh, Mr. B6000, oh. His random videos are the name of the game. Some might say they're his ticket to fame. The occasional intro may not make sense, but we all get a laugh at their expense.